Hey, Philippe. Okay, I have your three very interesting watches here, and it is evaluation day. Should be my last evaluation day for quite some time, but I have your three watches in here, and let's look at them. We have three watches: 6139 6009 Resist notch. We have a True Pogue, and we have a 6139 6032 speed timer. This is the 6139 6009. It is barely running. Eee. Well, that one's going to need some love. The movement doesn't look bad. It really doesn't, but it's just, it's barely ticking over. Okay, there's no point in trying to get any more numbers out of that. Let's put that one down. Let's go to the True Pogue, which is a super nice watch. Okay, so there's your True Pogue. And this really was not happy. Somebody else had tried to get this open at some point. They were not successful. I myself, I had to put it on my big case back opener, and I did get it open, but because I used the right tools, there are no additional scratches, but somebody was not lucky. The movement looks very nice. The numbers are, well, they're better than that speed timer. Hacky, low. Yeah, definitely low. I mean, of course it's going to need service. I mean, what do we expect? The only thing with this one that I'm interested about is you said sometimes the movement will hang up at 58. I have to ascertain if that's happening, if the chronograph wheel is good or bad. So I'll look at that here in just a second. Okay, clearly that's a runner. Let's check this last one out here. This is the speed timer with a 6139A 21 joule red text movement. And you can see the red text there, and it too is barely running. Yeah, it's just a mess. I mean, the movement looks fine. God, it's barely running. I don't know what we're gonna find. That one's it's barely doing anything. There's no point in even trying to futz around with the numbers to try to make that happen. I don't think it's going to. Yeah, it's junk. I'm sorry. The watch is not junk. The numbers are junk. Okay, so let's talk about a few things. Let's go with the watches. So we've got three watches here. First, let's start with one of my favorite models, 6139 6009 US only Resist notch. A-type movement. Yeah. Lower mainspring arbor port's worn, but how rare. That's just basically a given. It definitely had some minor moisture inside. We've definitely got some hazing on the movement. That should clean up. But you can see the hazing too on the weight right here. It's all original. The case is all original. It has no servicing marks inside the case back. These are just such a cool model. One of the reasons I love these so much is that I'm the one that basically proved that this model was legitimate. Before, basically, it used to be when people, the old common wisdom was that people would say that a notch case, which is what this is right there, they would say a notch case only ever goes with a proof dial, period. And so this is a resist dial, and people would say this was fake. These are fake, nobody made them, they're garbage, they're junk. And then I found on eBay, I found an ad from 1970 from Life magazine, and it showed, it says resist, and it has a notch. 6139 6009 US only resist notch. There's the proof, and I'm the one that found it. I'm sorry, don't mean to brag, but I'm obscenely proud of that. Before me, people said it was fake and there was no documentation for them. There's your documentation. So for that reason, I'm real fond of this particular model. This is a great watch. It's a nice example. It's not faded. It's got a nice blue tint dial. It's complete. This is a great one. Now, for all three of your watches, you had asked about things like relooming and refinishing the cases. You don't want to do any of that stuff. All three of these watches are completely original, and they're very nice. They're excellent condition. Doing any kind of repolishing or anything like that is just, all it would do is damage the watch. It wouldn't make them look any better. After I'm done cleaning this, you'll be amazed at how nice this looks. You'll be amazed at how nice these look. Gosh, that's a great model. I don't have one actually this nice. That's a nice watch. Okay, so this is a special watch. In fact, I might even leave that one for last because it's so special. Okay, so this is the Red Tech Speed Timer. Again, the movement is not running badly, but I can't get any real numbers off of it. It's got its red text bridge. Yeah. That feels pretty tight, actually. It's interesting. No, I don't see any servicing marks inside the case back. This is a nice piece. I see the 6030s and 6031s. I don't see the 6032s terribly often. You had asked about, again, case polishing this watch and also relooming. Again, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. There are aftermarket replacements for this Coke colored bezel, but they're terrible quality. This watch is original and it's extremely collectible. When you see loom, darn it, when you see loom like this, it's perfect. Perfect. If I wouldn't reloom this, but if for some reason someone forced me to reloom this watch, what would happen is it would cut the value by a third, if not by a half. And also, the case is great. Yeah, it's got some little signs of marks and wear and stuff on it, but I mean, the case lines are sharp and it's got nice brushing. This is a good watch. You don't, basically what I do is I clean like crazy. I make it all beautiful and clean and shiny. I replace the crystals with new crystals. I clean the case. I service the movement, and unless I have to do something, I leave good elements alone. Dude, I wouldn't do anything funky with this, and I would leave this worn bezel on it because it's original to the watch and the replacements are garbage. That's a great watch. Just leave it alone. Do the basics. Do what needs doing. 6139 6005. True Pogue from January 1972. Bright movement. This one did not want to open. You can see that the case back seal is absolutely flat and it's stuck to the case. Also a pretty tight lower mainspring. That's interesting. I don't think this one had ever been opened. Again, I had to lean on this one. And it doesn't look like it had a lot of miles on it. Somebody tried to open it up, but they were not successful. Right here, somebody tried to open it up. That's too bad, but the case is nice. Again, it's a fine case. You don't want to polish something like this. You just don't. Ah, yes, I see it. Okay, so let me put this on here and let's see if it stops. Darn it. I needed to see if it stopped running when it hit that 58 mark. Because if it's still running when it hits that, then we've got a bad chronograph wheel. But in the meantime, this is a true Pogue. It is the real deal. There are people in the world who fight for these. Your day wheel is misaligned. I can fix that. Your loom is a little funky, and that's something to consider. The thing I like most about this, not only is it a true Pogue, but the dial actually matches Pogue's own. Pogue's own watch there's so much variation on these gold dialed watches. There's a ton of variation on them. Different colors, lighter, darker, honey, whatever. Pogue's specific watch had what this one has, which is this little bit of this little light band right here. And yours has it too. There it is. There's that stop. Okay. Hang on, just hang on. I'm going to try to be very quiet. Hold on. Yeah, okay, so it kept running even as this hand stopped. So that means your chronograph wheel on this watch is failing. And that's unfortunate. It is what it is. It means the clutch is slipping. These have a really tiny clutch in them. This is the chronograph wheel inside a 6139. So you can see it actually has itty bitty, teeny tiny clutch plates. Let's see actually if I can do this. Aha. Okay, let's try to have some fun here. Where is it? There's your chronograph wheel. And that sort of step thing right in the middle, that middle set, those are the clutch plates. And the wider plate to the right, that's the one that gets pulled up and away by the operating levers. So what happens is the spring that is inside this piece, you can see it's sort of that tab thing there in the bottom, sitting inside there. That is the spring. It's sort of a one-piece circular spring. When that spring fails, the whole part fails. It's built in the factory. There's no way to repair this. There's no way to make it better. When these fail, they're gone. So that's the end of that. So we're going to have to replace your chronograph wheel in this watch, and that, unfortunately, is an expensive part. It is what it is. You know, the loom is damaged, but this is a true Pogue. It's going to be a balancing act to decide which is worse, to leave the original loom or to reloom it. Because if you reloom it, it's going to drop the value. Even though my relooming is very good, I think it's good, it's still going to drop the value. There's just nothing we can do about it. I mean, my relooms are good enough that it's hard to tell that a watch was reloomed, but the fact will remain that it had been reloomed. But it would look better. It's just a matter of whether or not you want to retain the value. Yeah, it's definitely, I just checked it again, it's definitely slipping. This watch, if this were mine, service seals, I need to look at the lower mainspring R report. I would leave the case alone. The insert's not bad either, it's original. I don't know, that dial, it's got the Black Death and it's not going to get better. I might lean towards relooming it, but it's going to hit the value. But then again, the Black and Loom is also going to hit the value. Dude, it's a true Pogue. It's a true Pogue. I guess I'll give you prices for that, and then you can decide what you want to do. And then we can go from there. If you're not really sold on this one, you could always trade this one in against the service on these two. We could certainly talk about that, because these two watches are definitely live. The chronograph wheels, they're expensive. They're like $150 just for that one part, because they're so rare and they're so hard to find. Okay, so you let me know. You let me know what you want done, and I'll do it. Okay, thank you.